Miss Chalice versus Lola Bunny.
I like your hair.
Oh,
These
thanks.
two women
They're my ears.
that are from
How long have you
cartoons.
been playing tennis?
That are from cartoons.
My whole life. It's kind of my passion.
They are some of the strongest girls in cartoon
Oh,
history.
sorry.
Let's see
That's my
who
phone.
will win.
Sorry.
Once Cuphead and Miss Chalice talked to this weird clock guy, and he swam them to an island, they met someone called Miss Chalice, who was a cheerful, joyful, and energetic girl who, just like Cuphead, but in the game, less reckless and more caring.
The chef told us to gather the necessary ingredients to create a magical
But Cuphead and McMahon were gonna help Miss Chalice, because Miss Chalice is a ghost.
I guess we still
She's
have
basically dead, so they were gonna help her, you know,
How do you know she won't do it again?
not become dead.
What can you guys possibly gain from helping this devious trick? In any case, I think it's time for the tutorial. Alright, let's check out what Miss Chalice can do. And no, I don't mean by checking her out.
And Miss Chalice, I don't really think she really needed help.
First off, we have to now
I mean,
dash to
she's
parry our
already
pink objects rather than
powerful.
jumping on them like before. Second, we can now dodge
She has
with
a
an
lot of
added bonus of
experience.
invincibility when doing so. And lastly, instead of
Then
jumping
she
once,
has
we can now jump
basically
twice, which is
all
going to come in super
the
handy later on. After
all
I finished
the
this tutorial, I
shots-
went over to the bridge and
all
talked
the
to this
finger
newspaper
gun
boy
shots
who
that
straight up told me
Cuphead
I was a
has,
weakling. Like, he even
including
offered
the
me a
different
cabbage and said I was
variations,
going to need it. In all my
more
years, I have
powerful
never been so
variations,
insulted
and some
by a
of the best
stranger, no less, who I
variations.
literally just met that had the audacity to talk down
So
at.
cool.
I like this kid. Anyways, after talking to the super nice paper boy, I made my way to the shop to buy a new weapon to add to my collection. And now it's time to fight the first boss.
Suds.
Never mind, I guess we're taking the ladder from
Miss
heaven instead. God,
Chalice
is that you? Oh, wait, no, it's just
basically
some guy
barely
named Lieutenant
needed
Dave.
any
Bit
help
egotistical to call yourself
with,
that, don't
you
think?
know,
Anyways,
fighting
apparently he wanted
the
us
bosses.
to take part in this tournament to go up against some of the champions he had prepared for us to battle. And so I did by taking on these pawns as my first
Miss
opponent. I wasn't allowed to use any of my
Miss
weapon
Chalice
or
took
charm
on
against these guys, so I
multiple
parried their little heads
people
one by
at
one and
once.
used my dodge roll to easily defeat them. But then the second champion was a bit on the trickier side to beat. I spent the first 3 rounds trying to figure out how to parry his pink
Besides,
without
Miss
taking
Chalice
damage,
can
which led to a
dodge
fair bit of
attacks
dying on my end. But on the
from
4th attempt, I noticed
the
he
lunges
let his guard
attacks
down
from
anytime he
this
finished his
weird,
attack
you know,
animation. And by
horse
taking advantage
knight
of this, it
guy,
didn't take long for the horse
and
to
can
bust
take
his
hits
teeth. Once
from
I
him
beat the 2
too, as in
champions, the
getting
king bid me
stabbed
farewell
with
for
his
now, and then I
sword.
returned to the overworld to actually fight the first boss this time.
Which,
Alright,
yeah.
let's see what gun we'll be using against this guy. From what I know, damage it dealt against the champion was
Also, remember when I
surprisingly
said
decent, enough
Miss
to get me
Chalice
through
can
the
use
first and
different
second phase
variations of
fairly
the
quickly.
finger
But when he
guns?
swallowed
Well,
me
yeah,
whole and
she
I
got
got
one
to
of
the
the
third phase,
worst.
I noticed the target was
Lobbers.
right above me. And as you can see, the
Which
lover
is
shoots
literally
downward.
ass.
Target above me, gun shoots downward. I
Yeah.
think you get the point. Even if I got the bullets to hit, it barely even scratched
Yeah.
him because 80% of my shots dropped down the gastric pool. I even thought
Yeah.
about scrapping the whole wheel spinning thing because of how stuck
Yeah.
I was at this pace. But good thing I didn't, because on my 10th attempt, I realized that I was actually making some progress. This was definitely possible. It was just really
Miss Chalice has
really hard.
this
One thing I
power
did that
which
helped
allows
immensely
her
was to try and not
hit,
get hit at the
which
start to
has
save
a
as
parry
many hearts as
attack,
possible.
which
Also,
is
since
called
Chalice's
parry.
second super art summons a shield
Also,
to take
Miss
one
Chalice
hit for us,
has
I was pretty
a
much
heart
ahead. And
shield,
thanks to that, I was
which
able to drag the fight on
it
just
sounds
enough so I
like
can beat the dangling
it
Yuvalov,
doesn't
snag
really
the first
sound like
ingredient for the Wonder
what you
Tart,
think
and an
it is.
achievement for defeating
Sure
the
it
boss
is,
with Miss
you know,
Chalice. My
heart
next
shield,
venture
but
had me travel east where I climbed up
it's
the
an
ladder
actual
to face more
shield,
of the King's
not
champions.
like
Hey everyone,
not like
are
using
you
your
a
own heart as
Minecraft
shield.
fan?
I mean, like,
Where I
it's
climbed
not
up the ladder
like
to
it's
face more of the
actually
King's
it's an
champions.
actual
This time I
shield,
was
not
up against the
actually
bishop
using
that
your
bounced
heart
around like a
to
pinball
defend
machine. To beat
yourself.
him, I had to blow out all the candles and parry the bishop's head every time it changed.
Besides,
His movements
Miss
were hard
Chalice
to read
even
initially, so I
beat
took some
this
fat L's in the first
bishop.
2 rounds. But then I got used to it later on and got the dub on my
Yeah.
3rd round. The next champion I had to face was a rook that had some questionable taste in women. His attacks consisted of flinging this
Besides,
funny-looking
Miss
head and
Chalice
skull while the sharpening of
can
his
even
axe
dodge
was
attacks
sparkling.
from
I tried
this
to look
guy,
cool by consecutively parrying them to finish him off quickly.
who's
But of course, like
basically,
any
you know,
other time I
the
tried to
guy
show off,
who,
I
you
ended up
know,
failing miserably.
kills
Good thing
everyone.
this game doesn't deduct points for
Well,
embarrassing
kills
yourself,
everyone
because
that
once I
they
chucked the
think
heads at him one at a
betrays
time, he
everyone.
wasn't so hard to beat. The last champion was a queen who showered me with all these gemstones, while a tower
Besides,
of
Miss
lion
Chalice
statues switched
is
across from one end
fast
to the other.
enough
For the
and
statues, I
durable
just
enough
had
to
to
take
simply
hits from
parry
this
to easily
queen
defuse them.
girl.
But to shoot these cannons at the queen while sidestepping the gemstones was a different story. I would often find myself focusing too much on not trying to get hit by these
Besides,
shiny objects
he
and
can
miss
throw as much
90% of my
attacks
shots
as
fired
you
at the
want,
tyrant.
Miss
Then again, there really
and
isn't
he
a
was
time limit in
just
beating these champions,
dodge
so although
all
it
of
took a
them.
while, I eventually
Or
shot
just
enough
take
chance
all
to
of them
defeat
head
her, got
on.
the achievement for beating all of the
Does
King's
that a
champions,
lot.
and returned to the overworld to fight my next main boss. Alright, hopefully we'll get a semi-decent loadout this time. Oh, and if you're wondering why I have 2 more guns at it, let's see how well
And
it does
besides,
against the
also
weaker boss.
Miss
For this boss,
Chalice
the
has
initial phase involved
roundabout
maneuvering around these
and a
balls
lot
to
of
spider summon with the
others.
press of a button, as well as avoiding this blue ant's pesticides and an army of flies. With the roundabout's boomerang effect, the ants and the flies usually die before they could do
besides,
anything to me. Not to mention the
Miss
spider got
Chalice can dodge
absolutely
light
demolished because
speed
this gun
attacks,
packed some serious punch. Then
which,
came the
you
second
know,
phase
with
with the
that light
dancing
speed,
firefly lady and the strips of
20
sound
times
waves
light
rotating
speed.
around the screen. 3 of the waves went
Like,
from yellow to
listen,
red that
Miss
would
Chalice has
inadvertently
dodged
have me lose one of my
lasers.
heart. But thanks to Chalice's second super
Miss
art,
Chalice,
I was able
which
to
means
gain a
Miss
shield to
Chalice
help
can
me
move
stay in the
about
fight while also
20
learning
times.
to evade the red strips
20
using
times the
Chalice's
speed of
dodge.
light.
Once I took down the
That's
ladybug,
actually
a
faster
massive
than
anteater
lightning.
showed up with a snail hidden underneath
Literally
its
missed
bowler
it.
hat. The snout of the anteater appeared randomly around the screen as he tried to slobber me by extending his nasty tongue out. Then he shot out this ball of scuffles that would sometimes clog up the screen with more than one. Most of the anteater's attacks were fairly
Besides,
easy to anticipate, and I had no problem beating him. Or so I thought, as this knockout was a fake
Besides,
one,
Miss
and I
Chalice
lost the
can
heart
take
because of
hits
its
from-
deception. But thanks to the shield I
from
put up a while ago, I was
people
able to stay alive
several
and actually
times-
beat him this time.
several
defeating
times
the Moonshine Mob,
bigger
I got
and
the second
stronger
ingredient
than
and
her,
headed
but
south
she
to talk to
still
this
just-
cactus girl,
but
who in
she
my
still
opinion
beats-
needed to work
but
on her
she still
people
gets
skills
back
because her
up
supposed
and-
conversation
and
starter was to
kicks
scare
their
the living
butts.
daylight out of me. And I don't know about you, but
She
that has
beats the
got to be
daylight out
the
of them.
scariest boo I've ever heard attack. Okay, maybe I over-exaggerated just a little bit. To worry
Besides,
about
Miss
spinning the
Chalice
wheel this
even
time. I definitely
rides in
didn't
her
spin
own
the wheel
plane.
beforehand and came to
I mean, I know what
completely
y'all are
annihilating her opponent.
thinking.
How, you may ask? Well, when you shot
Really?
with 2 balls of
Come
snake oil, a
on.
cactus that's lassoed in, dynamites that split into more dynamites, and a
plane,
flying horse that spits
everyone
a ball
has
of
that in
cactus, then I'm
Cuphead.
sure the answer to the question
Well,
is pretty obvious,
yeah.
don't you think? And even when I somehow got through all that, she
Besides,
sucked in
Miss
all
Chal-
this money for me to dodge
besides,
with a
Miss
vacuum
Chalice
cleaner and
can
shoved them
be-
out in a form of metal shapes that
can
broke
be
into more money.
a
After that,
bunch
she gets processed
of
into sausage links where I have
different
to avoid all these strings of beans on top of
and
these juicy looking
animal
steaks she spat at me.
bosses.
And don't even get me started on her last phase, as it involved
There are
narrowly
hundreds
flying
of
through these
times,
openings in between
you know,
two
larger
long chains
than
of
Miss
sausages,
Chalice.
all the while evading these flaming jalapenos launched at me. Having a hard time against Esther would have been an understatement of the year, as I even thought of holding off on beating her to take on another boss. But since I was
Also,
already
Miss
so
Chalice has
invested in
this
the fight, I couldn't
bomb
help but keep on
attack,
going. It
which
took me a total of
basically turns her
21
into a
freaking
bomb,
attempts, but I finally got in the groove
where
of
you
fitting through
can-
the string
where she
gaps
can,
and used
you
my
know,
super bomb to
run
blow her
into
to
you and,
smithereens
you
to
know,
get that knockout.
blow-
After beating Esther,
blow
I
you
got
up.
the third ingredient to the Wonder Tart, and then I proceeded to talk to the
Yeah.
cactus girl again to see if she had any new information to disclose. But nothing really changed.
Besides,
in
Miss
mine. I
Chalice
took
is
over the
not
case and
like
started
real
trying out
ghosts
every
in the
combination
real
of the
world.
order in which I had to
Sure,
interact
she
with
can
these
turn
tombstones.
invisible,
Man, if Einstein can
move
see me
things
now. I'm
around,
sure there's a
and
better way
possess
to do this,
people.
but it's more fun this way. And besides,
But-
there's only so many combinations to try.
But she's different from all the other ghosts. It's so scary. Nah, that boy ain't
Don't
scary.
ask me how long that took me. Anyways, once I solved the mystery for the ghost, I took a quick nap to spin the wheel to see what gun I needed to
Guys,
be
Miss
good when I
Chalice
got
can
all my
even use
bullets today.
drag
Which could seem like the
attack
perfect
and
gun to
thought
use
a
against
demon
these guys,
and
right?
an
Wrong, because getting
angel.
close to them was the last thing you'd want to do. Every time
Which,
I faced
yeah, they
away
were
from the
pretty
angel,
hard
he
for
turned
her.
into a devil to shoot
But
fireballs along
but
with a
fighting
pillar
an
of
actual
flame zooming
demon
across me.
and
And
an
this cloud
angel
with the lightning
would
swaying
make
back
her
and forth
powerful
didn't
enough
make
to
it any
fight-
easier.
to
I tried standing
fight
on the
the
cloud to
devil
see if that was the
himself.
best position to be at. But I was missing a lot of my shots while moving side to side,
Means
so I
Miss-
scrapped that plan.
this
Then I tried
means
camping
Miss
at the edge to see if
Chalice
that
is
worked.
strong
But I kept
enough
falling
to
off when the firewall
completely
got close, so that was no
destroy
good either. Then I decided to wing it
Earth,
just like I do with
or
everything
it
in my
could
life. And
completely
funny
destroy
enough, it actually
stars
worked
in
out
one
just fine. And I
hit.
turned out just fine too.
Which
At least that's what
is
my parents
pretty,
told me.
you
Anyways,
know,
after beating the angel and the
busted.
devil, I got the achievement for defeating them, and I got myself a
She could
curse now. Now
probably
we'll be
even
using this
blow the
relic to
sun.
unlock a secret achievement down the road, but since we still have a lot to do, I'll spare you the details for
I
now.
mean-
In the meantime, let's beat up the next boss. And what better way to do that than to get a gun? But it wasn't great.
And besides,
to deal the maximum amount of
Miss
damage,
Chalice
I had
can-
to press
it's
the aim button
faster
for the bullets
than
to come
all the
closer
bosses
together,
in
but
the
I wasn't
game,
the best when it came
which,
to aim,
you
so I
know,
forgot to
can
press it most of the
literally
time.
dodge
Still, I did pretty
this,
well for the first 2 phases, even
which
with the
can
half-decent
literally
gun. Up until I
dodge
got to the final phase, where the
this
screen
attack from
literally
her,
flipped
which is
sideways.
literally
Like, I
her
kid
just
you not,
shooting
this part of
lightning
the
from
boss
her
fight had my
fingers.
brain go through
Miss
multiple
Chalice can move
aneurysms
faster
that
than
resulted in
light.
so many failures. The only thing I could literally do here was jump
And
up and
besides,
down
Miss
and
Chalice
dodge
can
the red
dodge
bolts. But
lasers
even when I
and
did
take
that,
them
the
head
yellow ones
on.
would sometimes overlap with it to create an
And
inescapable
can fight
attack. The only way I could
giant
get past this base was to pray the bowls didn't overlap as much.
monster
And with enough
dogs
attempts, I luckily had a
who are
round where
so
they
strong
didn't
they
overlap
can
at all, which
move
led
the
to a flawless win against the
camera.
furry mongrels and got myself the 4th ingredient. Alright, here we go. One last boss to obtain the fire of a gun.
Besides,
Like literally fire. And look
Miss
who we were
Chalice
up against next.
can
Poor
fight
Mortimer Freeze pulled the
entire
short end of the straw.
armies
As anything he threw
of,
at me
you
got
know,
absolutely
snowmen or
incinerated. Even his
random
abominable
bugs.
snow friend didn't stand
And
a chance
besides, Miss
against
Chalice
his
can
heat.
even
But then when I
fight
got
this
to the last phase, my
abominable
weapon
snow
wasn't so hot
friend
anymore. The Icy
and
Flake
can
had
fight
an
a
arsenal of
giant,
attacks
you
that took
know,
me by
snowflake
surprise
with
countless
a
times throughout my
face.
scrimmage against him. The worst one being his eyeball
Who
popping
is
right out of his
literally
socket that
freaking
created a
broken,
vertical laser
and every
attack, which had
time
me lose
I
a
keep
heart
trying to
every
kill him, he
single
keeps
time.
killing me.
Nonetheless, with a
No,
little
no,
bit
don't
of
hit
luck,
me
I
with your
eventually beat
eyeball.
him with a
Leave me
sliver of health, got
alone.
myself the 5th and final
God
ingredient and
dang,
the
so
achievement for beating
annoying.
all 5 of the DLC bosses. Finally, now that we have all the ingredients, we just have to get them to the shed? Oh, I'm sure it's just getting
And
the
then
recipe ready and never mind
the
his
last
evil
boss.
Clowns have officially been spotted.
for himself to use it for his own selfish gain. And it seems like the most important ingredient was a living soul, where he had Mugman trapped in the glass dome. Also, how in the world did he capture him when he was literally with us the entire time? Whatever, before we take on the chef, let's spin the
And
wheel
well-
first. Okay, wheel, don't fail me now. I need the best. Bullets went out. And
And
you know what that
besides,
means.
Miss
I had to aim with
Chalice
the gosh darn
even
thing. And I'm sure
thought
you
the
all know by now I
strongest
wasn't a fan of
chef-
it. But that wasn't
chef
enough to stop a guy like me
Saltmaker,
from rising to the
who
occasion.
is
And with the
freaking
power of
broken
repetition, my aim
again.
actually
Not
drastically improved
again.
to the point where I was
Stop.
dishing out a ton of
Please.
damage. Then the
He
chef
has
proceeded
so
to
much
introduce me to his
attack.
pepper shakers
And
that
he
just
can
couldn't
also
stop
grow to
themselves
the
from
size of a
sneezing.
giant.
I wonder why. Anyways, other than the fact this little fire thing was being a pest, getting through this part wasn't too hard. And then we find ourselves in a wasteland with 2 spiraling salt dancers bouncing up and down to crush me. But of course, I didn't let that happen
And
by being
besides,
an
Miss
absolute
Chalice
dodge-rolling maniac. And then
can
came the
get
final phase where the
crushed a
difficulty
bunch of
actually
times
bumped up quite a
and
bit. The
can
only way I
take
could
on
damage the
bosses which
floating
can
pig
really
cart was
shift
either to get
reality
up close and
to
personal
their
or
needs
open fire
and
from the bottom.
even
Aiming with a twist up was
survive as
beyond me
long
at this
as
point
their
because
heart
it took
is
all I
still
had just to
just
not fall from the
like
platform,
Chef
which led this fight to come
Saltmaker.
down to how long I can keep all
Not
this up. But my
again.
human limitations had me
Annoying.
slowly make
Stop
mistakes,
hitting
one
me
after
so
the
much.
other, where I was
What did
whittled
I
down
ever
to
do
one
to
heart. I used my
you?
last remaining super meter to create one final heart shield in hopes of staying alive just a bit longer. And surely enough, my efforts had paid off, as moments after
And-
doing so, I was able to finally take down the chef and got the achievement
Miss
for
Chalice
completing the
still
quest for this side. After defeating
defeat
Chef
Chef
Saltmaker, we released
Saltmaker.
Mugman
But
from
the
his glass
battle,
confinement,
they
with
was
Chalice going
it was
back to
so
being the coach. Then
intense
the building started
that
to shake, where we all
the
hightailed out of the
building,
place along with the chef.
the whole
With the bakery
entire
destroyed, there was no way for Chalice
literally
to come
got
back to life
crushed
again. But she
and
goes on to say
basically
it isn't worth
collapsed on
sacrificing
itself.
someone else's soul to.
Also, Miss Chalice even has this power which allows her to shoot a beam up and down from both sides. And even without her heart shield, Miss Chalice is still super durable. I mean, geez. How durable is this woman? And also, Miss Chalice has one other super, where she turns into a ghost and brings the dead upon you to kill, and brings an army of dead ghosts just to kill you. Because guess what? Whatever Miss Chalice does, she will always do it with her friends, Cuphead and Mugman. Lola Bunny first appeared in 1996 in Space Jam.
Yes. Hello. My name is.
She was first just, regular.
Don't ever call me doll.
Yeah.
Hey, nice playing.
She pretty obviously has Toon Force,
Doll.
and she's a dunker. She dunked on monsters, aliens, who are strong. She died. She's dead, and
Are you okay?
Lola Bunny here.
2000 Tweety's High Flying Adventure.
The ankle transmitter indicates our
Also,
globe-trotting
look
canary
who
has
was once,
successfully navigated the canals
news
of
producer.
Venice. Venetian locals confirm Tweety has amassed a grand total thus far of 37 feline paw prints.
So when Lola was a kid, she was more energetic, you know? She doesn't have any clothes, but... she freaking defied the laws of gravity and used the book as a plane. How does that make any sense? Yeah. Bring a rabbit, she's super fast. Yeah.
It's Bugs. So how's about stepping out with me for a carrot juice? This girl is some conversationalist. What's up, Doc?
Also, Lola's Bugs' girlfriend. If you...
2005.
Also, Lola was actually a superhero once. She was fighting bad guys like no other. And she was super skilled at it, too. Lola could literally use her ears to motherfucking shoot a laser. And that cartoons were supposed to be funny. Now they're supposed to be superheroes motherfucking saving the entire world. Also, her ears must be pretty powerful because it shot a laser which was strong enough to send entire rocks and boulders collapsing on a guy. Jesus, I know.
2011, The Looney Tunes Show.
20 of your 24 hours.
Someone's
But
good at
though as
math.
Lola progressed,
What I
she
love
got
about you.
less and
That
less,
and your
you know,
smile.
actors.
No, it's okay. It's just a weird way to
less and
answer
less.
the...
No, I wasn't talking to you. I almost hit an oil truck.
Oh, well, maybe I'll call you at a better time.
This is a better time. This is a perfect time.
Sorry.
What? Are you kidding? This is a perfect passion.
Besides, as Lola progressed, she got weirder
sorry.
and weirder.
That's my phone. Sorry. A lot of stuff in here.
Weird.
Makeup, keys,
Weird,
rubber
weird,
band ball,
weird,
deck
and
of
weird.
cards, stapler.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I never noticed how handsome you were.
Oh, thanks.
You have a really big beak.
Thank you very much.
No.
Oh my gosh, hurry! We only have 2 more hours left in Paris and we haven't fallen in love yet!
Wait, have you fallen in love yet?
Okay, well quit staring at Stonehenge and let's see the rest of the city!
Come true.
2015, Rabbits Run.
I gotta stay in the present, Lola. There's tons to be grateful for here in the present. It's a beautiful sunny day. Really?
Vote is yours.
Wait a second. This is where I used to live. Lola, you're not a barge captain anymore.
You were a barge captain?
Yeah, for 7 years. Or is that a dream?
Lola
Anyway, you probably need to make an... All right, let's see here.
but Lola
Maybe
obviously
just a
has Toon Force.
smidge of dream.
I don't know why anybody would think she doesn't. Over to Skeleton Bugs who is basically the equivalent of Toon Force.
Here goes nothing.
Can survive anvils, get hit by baseball bats, and a bunch of stuff.
O-M.
Also, she has this perfume that literally makes her invisible. Which, you know, yeah.
Well, how do I look?
Beautiful. Seems a shame to do this, but
Yeah.
Oh, Bugs! I just knew you'd save me. Maybe not as much as I knew I was gonna get smelted, but...
2015, New Looney Tunes.
Driving stinks.
Excuse me?
I think I can totally beat you in a race.
Beat me with what? Looks like I
Besides,
smashed your
Lula
ride.
got
How?
Well, when you see my
That
ride...
lady bunny, she must have chickened out.
Also, Lola has a freaking car.
You better
Yeah, I
watch
don't
it,
think she
sweetheart,
needs
'cause
it
you
with how
playing with the big
fast
girls
she is.
now.
I mean, she can out. She is fast. I mean, she's fast. She's a good skater.
Hop along, little bunny. money before I knock you on your keister.
Ooh, fingers crossed. Can you sign all my Rhoda souvenirs first?
Get that box out of my face.
I get it. You're toast. Hey, Rhoda, you got a little something right here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and, well, basically all over your face.
Speaking of faces, why don't you get out of mine?
You have stolen my babies, and I've come to get them back. Where are they, anyways?
They're outside. They ate a little too much.
Also, Lola has a dragon.
What? They're not allowed to
She
eat
has a
dessert before dinner.
freaking
Who's
dragon.
responsible for this?
Why the fuck does he have
And
a
you
dragon?
will not find dragons again. They will taste my fury! Lovely kingdom you have, by the way. If you're ever across the narrow sea, just give me a ring and maybe we can hang out or something.
2021 Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Shoot the ball.
Let's end this.
Got you, Kron?
And get our son back.
Also Lola's energetic in Space Jam. And no matter what, Lola Bunny will always love bugs.
It's your man.
Are you okay? Lola Bunny here.
And the winner is Miss Chalice for a number of reasons. First, the categories in this fight came down to experience, durability, speed, and power. Let's start with experience. Both have been doing this for several years. But Miss Chalice has been fighting for years on experience clearly goes to Miss Chalice, especially since she has been in way more fights than Lola has. Now power, it was still hard. It was kind of hard to find, because remember, Lola isn't useless. She's fast, quick on her feet, and she can shoot a laser from her ears. But Miss Chalice has different variations of lasers and can basically tinker with the fabric of reality. Remember, Miss Chalice thought a demon and an angel at the same time. Said fighting a demon and an angel makes her strong enough to punch, makes her even way past strong enough to punch a star out of existence, to completely disintegrate it. And that she could do that easily by if she can fight demons and angels. Besides, Miss Chalice has fought thousands of bosses that are several times gianter than her. Miss Chalice obviously takes the edge in power. But the more complicated one was speed. Lola Bunny is super fast. Lola Bunny is obviously super fast. But Miss Chalice is too. Has dodged the lightning, lasers, and has even taken hits from lasers. But when compared to each other, they're mostly even in terms of speed. So this category is a tie. Now, abilities-wise, both have incredible abilities, which would definitely give a toll on each other. But only Miss Chalice has enough abilities to actually put Lola down. And Lola never had anything that could, put Miss Chalice down, actually. She didn't really have much. She barely showed up in Looney Tunes. And when she did, she barely did anything. Except for just kiss bugs. Except for just love bugs. That's basically all she did in the So yeah, Lola was fast, persistent, and strong, and definitely gave Miss Chalice a run for her money. But Miss Chalice's power, strength, durability, and unbelievable abilities just gave her the win. Winner is Miss Chalice.